Desmond D'sa, coordinator of the South Durban Community Environmental Alliance. As we celebrate 25 years of active citizens and active in the environmental justice movement, I want to just say that people have always been on the land first. We have been moved and pushed and shifted from many parts of Durban to where we currently are, and many of our fathers and forefathers that were indentured laborers were people that farmed the land, and they were moved off the land, and eventually the first refinery came in 1953, built by ExxonMobil, that is now 70 years old, and that refinery has become a rusty bucket and has blown up over 25 times, explosions and fires and gassing out of the local community. The other refinery came in 1963. That was the Shell and BP refinery, and that refinery itself had huge explosions of HFO, but more importantly the gas desulfurizer and the many of the units on the plant collapsed, including the pipelines. And the third big industry that came together was in 1970, which was Anglo-American Mondi paper mill as well as Sappi Psycho, and both these paper mills were built on the banks of the rivers, and as you know, they pollute the rivers and pollute the ocean. Ever since we started in 1995 as a community organization, we've written so much about the petrochemical and chemical industry never before seen in the history of this country. In the past, the chemical industry was controlled by one government official and central government. Today, since 1994, through the efforts of Nelson Mandela, we have the Environmental Management Act. We have a progressive constitution that places the environmental issues and health first before anything else. And through that effort, we were able to come together in South Africa and walk through a process of developing all the legislation, including the Air Quality Act, which is similar to the US, of the Clean Act, the Waste Act, and other pieces of legislation to hold the polluting industries accountable for their actions. Despite all that, 25 later, we're still finding problems with that. Despite having all these laws and having more pollution inspectors, as well as more health regulators, we still have a problem with the political will to act in the interest of society and to prosecute the polluting industry. I must say, during that period, we've shut down over 3 heavy hazardous landfill sites in our neighborhoods, but also we've shut down a number of industries such as the Chrome Chemical Company that is owned by Sasol, as well as the Sasol acrylonitrile plant, which is very nasty and dangerous. But recently, we've shut down industrial oil processes that has a bad smell in the air, continues to affect people's health and well-being. So in our 25 years, we have done a lot of work in shutting down, and that could only have happened by having the evidence at hand, by taking all the air samples, taking the water samples, but more importantly, ensuring that the information that we have gets put out to a wider audience and holding the industry accountable, and also informing government of the actions that we were taking.